the exact same moment for a human case to finally appear. But honestly, with everything, the exact same moment for a human case to finally appear. But honestly, with everything, the exact same moment for a human case to finally appear. But honestly, with everything, the exact same moment for a human case to finally appear. But honestly, with everything, the exact same moment for a human case to finally appear. But honestly, with everything, the exact same moment for a human case to finally appear. With everything, the exact same moment that
this is the Merneptah stele. There was a pharaoh in Egypt by the name of Merneptah.
There we go, Bjorn. Thank you very much for letting me know.
This fella, this victory statement comes from
Something else I can help you with.
So this thing is 3,200 years old. And if you look down here,
We should be good now.
War and more black because people were actually touching the inscription that mentioned that the nation had been laid waste by Pharaoh Merneptah in 1208 BC. Well, how could that be if the Exodus took place in the 1200s, like many people say? The much more consistent date for the Exodus, according to the Bible and archaeology, is the Exodus took place in the 1400s BC, particularly according to the Bible, 1446 BC. That would have given the Israelites enough time to get into the land and become a nation. So later, Merneptah...
Just want to point out, did you hear what he said? He said the Israelites, not the Israeli.
Armbjorn says check my post.
Just wanted,
Live was to swear, but it's okay now.
Just wanted to point that out. Yes,
Pooh says
the Israelite.
You have just reached level 20.
Not the Israeli. Very notable distinction, right?
He could brag that he had beaten him. This is amazing. It's 3,200 years old, and it's got...
Meet Jim Monster 2, your all-in-one smart
home. Armbjorn says Haunted Live is okay now.
Up anywhere, no
all right, bye.
No installation.
You've been told the Bible's about one God, but that's wrong because inside it are many gods. Psalm 82 literally says God stands in the assembly of El. He judges among the gods. Among the...
Armbjorn says, but please check my video.
Alpha Elohim, Elohim meaning like multiple gods, the gods, right? So it's always spoken about the gods, right? Never one God, right? That is true. They're not lying about that. Oh, did you send it to me through DM? Bjorn, thank you very much for letting me know.
Gods, yeah, like a divine Zoom meeting. So who the hell is El? Well, that's El Elyon, the Most High, who is the
Armbjorn says now I posted it, but hold on.
Deuteronomy 32 originally said he divided mankind according to the number of the sons of God, meaning each nation got its own deity. And Yahweh, he got... That means Yahweh was not the Most High. He was one of El's kids. But here's where it gets insane, because modern Bibles, they quietly changed sons of God to sons. Why? Because sons of God sounds like multiple gods, and that blows monotheism to pieces. So they rewrote it. They literally edited the Bible to hide the other gods.
The thing is that all of that is irrelevant anyhow, right? Because there is still a creator, right? There's one creator, right? So regardless of how many people took on the title of God, right? Because it is a title, right? It's irrelevant, right? Because we still have one
Armbjorn
creator.
Says I sent it to you, and it wasn't my phone that was the issue, by the way.
What do you mean? Never said it was the phone. No, it's not. It's not the phone. I definitely had an audio issue on this end. It was definitely not your phone. But yes, I mean, he's not lying about that part, that the Bible always spoke of gods, right? In certain versions, the meaning, the narrative was changed to make it sound like
I'm
a
just saying it wasn't my phone because I thought it was XD.
Oh, I see. No, it was definitely on my end.
Says you sound different today.
How so? I'm curious, how so?
Old Testament scholar Mark S. Smith even said the original God El. Yahweh was known separately from El at an early point. But he wasn't alone. Baal was Yahweh's rival. And get this, they were both storm gods. Then there was Asherah, literally the queen of heaven.
Armbjorn says like a different man IDK like. Posh almost.
Absorbed his rival Baal's titles too. And when it came to Asherah, for a time she was considered Yahweh's wife, until later editors scrubbed her out of the Bible and replaced her name with the word groves. Imagine turning God's wife into a tree. So here's the truth. The Bible isn't the story of one God who was always supreme. His followers just rewrote history to make it seem that way.
I really just don't know anymore, guys. Are people under a spell, or am I the one under a spell? Like, I don't even know what reality is anymore. There is such a thick level of deception, and it's weird.
There is a thick layer of deception, but let's see whether or not he's going to help clear that veil or if he's just going to add to it.
I'm the only one experiencing this where you feel like you're in different realities. Like you go to work, you're in work reality. You spend time with your family, you're in your family reality. You go out shopping, you're in shopping reality. And everybody is in their own little bubble, their own little world. And not to mention here on social media, where there's little echo chambers of algorithm control.
Ambion says you sound professional and it's weird XD love you though.
That I'm kind of chewing on.
I sound professional? And it's weird. Gee, thanks, Bjorn.
This way. Like, what is real anymore? And then
I appreciate the sentiment. I know what you mean.
Don't get me started on that you don't even know what's real or what's fake on the internet. And yeah, I can't anymore. Again, just trying to walk with the Lord with humility, understanding that, I'm finite and I need to lean upon him for all understanding and wisdom. But looking around right now, especially on social media, and it's hard to not just think how there is a spell over the masses. I mean, especially with the political spell, whether it's the left or the right.
All right, so he's obviously not here to help, right? First of all, he's talking about spells. And not only it might be a spell, he's telling you that it is a spell, right? So he is pushing a narrative for people to accept a specific type of reality, right? A specific reality. So he is not here to help. He is here to
Armbjorn says,
point
I'm going
out...
to tell you like it is cause you don't sound like Joshi, but Joshua instead.
he is saying things that have already been exposed, right? But adding a little twist to it, making it sound more complicated than it really is, right? There is life that we experience, and then there are realities that people try to impose on us. There isn't a work reality and a home reality and an outside reality and a taking a shower reality and a taking a shit reality, right? This guy sounds confused and he's confusing his viewers, right? There is life, and then there are realities that people try to impose on your life, right? Now, he's already telling you that you're under a spell. He's not saying it might be a spell. He's telling you that you are under a spell. Now, if you accept that narrative, then you will become under that spell. You will succumb under that spell, right? Because you've allowed him to impregnate your mind and plant that seed that you are under a spell. You guys follow me? So this guy is not helping. As innocent and as goofy as he may look, this guy is an agent of chaos, just adding more confusion.
Is a thick layer, a thick spell. And I can only imagine what it looks like in the spiritual realm, like a veil over the eyes, blinders over people, spiritually speaking.
Again, using words and jargon that we've already discovered and have been discussing, and just adding a little sprinkle of murkiness to it just to try to confuse people even more.
It just makes me kind of think and wonder, what am I blind to, or what am I under, right? Like a spell wise. Like, if you don't think you are deceived in some area, then you're deceived. There's your deception.
So if you believe that you have clarity, you are deceived. That is the message that he ended that clip with. If you do not believe what he is saying, and you feel that you are not, that you are understanding the deception, then you are deceived. That is the deception. So when the fuck do we get out of it then? You understand what I mean? You have to be careful with influencers like this. That man received a paycheck to upload that video, right? And some people seem like they're trying to help, when in fact they're just adding confusion. And that man is adding confusion.
This is just the sweetest wallet I've ever seen. GPS trackable, trigger engaged, and
a little esoteric and history for you all. I think I've packaged up in a neat little bow for you, and
I'm convinced that this is AI. This is not a real person. This is AI.
Armbjorn says, are you possessed instead of the stream? Nah, JK, how's your day?
Are you possessed instead of the stream? Nah, I've been good. I've been good today.
Was exposed for boys under the guise of a nature camp in the...
All right, let's read the headline. The cover-up of North Fox Island and its possible connection to the snow killing. Are we familiar with the snow killing? Or are they about to embed a story that's really non-existent into our minds now? Anyone familiar with the snow killing? Let's find out.
On this island are even believed to be connected to a string of child. This is my part 4 video, so be sure to go watch the other videos about North Fox Island or else you'll be completely lost. I have a playlist with those videos down below, and as always, make sure to
Arnbjorn says I'm familiar with any of this and I study true crime.
A gym teacher involved.
Arnbjorn says not familiar.
Was arrested and given a plea deal for a more
And you
lenient
yes.
sentence in exchange for information, including some of the island's clients. The story of North Fox Island quickly disappeared from the news, and local news outlets were now instead focusing on a new breaking story. On February 15th, 1976, a 12-year-old boy named Mark Stebbins went missing while walking home from his mother's place of work. Despite extensive searches, Mark's body wouldn't be found until 4 days later, lying on a pile of wood and dirt in the parking lot of an office building in Southfield, Michigan. He wore the same clothes he had disappeared in, and rope marks were observed on both his wrists and ankles, suggesting that he had been held captive somewhere. Despite the kidnapping and brutal essay he had faced, whoever was responsible made sure that Mark had been fed, bathed, and redressed. Investigators receive a tip from an inmate in Flint named Greg Green, who says that he himself is a predator.
I can't wait to see how all of this comes together at the end of her clip. Like, what is the point of this video? Is it just a true crimes podcast, or is she trying to send a message?
And that he never worked alone. Greg claims that his friend, a man named Chris Bush, is the one responsible for Stebbins. When police find out where Chris Bush lives, they get a warrant to search his house, and inside they find a suitcase full of CP, along with ropes and weapons thought to be involved in Mark's case and the other cases that became known as the snow killings. So police bring Chris in for questioning, and while he admits to being a predator and that he has worked with Greg Green abducting victims in the area, he claims that he has...
Arnbjorn says she's probably just trying to get engagement bait because a lot of influencers prefer true crime.
And his accomplice Greg Green...
Arnbjorn says
True
unfortunately...
True crime is one of the most profitable and most viewed and listened to, streamed overall genre for sure. I believe that she's just pulling out this old story just for views, really. But in doing so, people that watch this, they kind of, I don't know about you, but as you're watching stuff like this, there's this feeling that you get, right? It's not really, it's not really fear. It's more of like a sadness for, you know, even...
says, like I said, I study true crime and I ain't ever heard of this, but I will hear her out.
I mean, I'll hear her out, of course. I mean, if you're interested in true crimes, it's definitely the type of content that you would watch. But what are we gaining from this? She pulled out a murder from 53 years ago. It's got to be just for clicks. I mean, what's the point of bringing this to 2025 to people watching content on social media? What's the point of bringing this back into light? You understand? That's what I'm questioning. It's got to be just views.
I feel like I can't believe anything she says.
It does. I agree with you, Bjorn. 100%.
Test. They agree, and according to the examiner, they both passed the test. So for the time being, the two men are marked off from the suspect list, but they were charged for the CP found in their possession. Greg gets life in prison, and Chris, because he comes from a wealthy family, just has to pay a fine. A week after Chris Bush gets paroled, another child in the area goes missing, and this time it's an 11-year-old boy named Timothy King, who I can do a separate video on. The following year, Chris Bush would be in his home. Within 24 hours, his ruled a self-elimination, but it's not exactly clear how they would have come to that conclusion. Chris was found neatly tucked into his bed sheet.
It's hard for me to invest in these type of videos, to be honest with you.
In order to take that,
it's just pointless. To me, it's pointless.
There were 4 shell casings around him. There was also no blood spatter at the scene and no gunpowder residue found on his own hands. Above him in his bed is a hand-drawn image of a young boy bearing the resemblance of Mark Stebbins. But who would have it out for Chris, you might be asking? Well, remember that client list I mentioned earlier? Investigators would later find out that Chris Bush's name was on the list from North Fox Island. And this
Arnbjorn says, like, I'm not saying she's a liar, because there's a lot I don't know, but at the same time.
Come back for part 5 or check out
of course, but it doesn't feel, it's not something that I'm going out to look for. This is unsolicited history, right? Not even useful history. What did we gain? How did it affect my life in a constructive way? What did we learn from it? How did we grow from this video?
Russia just launched their first nuclear-powered missile. It can fly forever. The fuel is the nuclear reactor. They said it's a tiny Chernobyl.
A tiny Chernobyl is a big Chernobyl.
Yeah.
There's no tiny Chernobyl.
Armbion says I learned PPLBLYINNN.
That's PR then. So they're like, yeah, I could run forever.
I learned people by Lynn.
Flexing. Maybe.
Oh, by lying?
Do we have footage of them crashing it?
No.
What you mean?
Well, then they didn't crash it. Trusting Russians now. Yeah, we crashed it. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
It was stress. Like, well, let's see what it does.
We want to have fun.
I saw something that this could be 10 years old. And if their nuclear facility experiences a nuclear somewhere else, they have a button called like a and it'll just go off and like send them out to wherever.
Yeah.
If everybody were to die, that's why they call it. Like if they get hit with a nuke, they have a button that'll just.
Armbion says, how am I supposed to believe these people when 90% of what they're spitting out isn't true?
Access to it. They have like a nuclear.
Joshi the Pooh says at Armbion Pink Heart, you have just reached level 21.
So no matter what,
Yeah, that's also a rumor though.
You see what I mean? And then when they say shit like that, no matter what, we're fucked, right? No matter what, there's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do about it. You know what I mean? Again, they're being paid to spread a narrative so that people start accepting things like that as their reality.
Armbion says, my mom made me study this stuff. I would know XD.
No, it's good. It's good, right? To study and understand these things, right? It's good to understand history as well. I'm not saying that history isn't important, but there's just certain pieces of history that really have no use now, right? So what's the point other than fear mongering to bring up these things? Russia sent a nuke somewhere and it didn't affect no one apparently, and they crashed it, right? Who the fuck cares?
Listen to Money from Cabaret, but the Alan Cummings version BC, it's best and it'll tell you a lot.
Why are we reporting on this? What's the point on this if not to spread fear? He threw a nuke up in the air and he crashed it. Let him fucking nuke him. Like, come on now. Why should I care? Where's that part in the video? I want to see that part in the video. Why should I care?
It's probably not.
It's just like 20 years ago, there was a mass killer that was just going around stabbing people. Hit the thumbs up, my boys. Like, what was the point of the fucking video, my boys? Let me go check my food. I'll be right back.
Not a thing at all, but now we're scared of it. Yeah.
Check the VODs for part 2. You put on part 2. He did it with a knife. All right, hit the thumbs up. Check part 3 for more. My boys, I'll be right back.
Armbion says, I'm starting to hear Joshi.
If we die, we're nuking every other podcast.
So with all this stuff going on, I really do think that Donald Trump might actually be the Antichrist, because the one thing, listen, everything fits him as far as the description of the Antichrist, but the desire, but him not desiring women. And I just couldn't understand it. But then with the emails that came out today and with Mr. Bubba,
Armbion says me too, bro.
It seems like he fits all of the categories of the Antichrist. The Antichrist will not desire women. And it seems like Donald Trump desired Bubba. And so, and Bubba is not a woman. And so it's looking like all of the signs point to Mr. Trump being the Antichrist. Now, whether that is true or not, and I mean, the emails seem to be true considering they got it from his estate, allegedly, that they did not have access to until...
The email came out about him being with Bubba. But if you notice how he kind of like gradually moved into from speculation of this guy being an antichrist into what's factually been provided,
Armbion
which is the fact that these emails exist.
When he said Bubba, he meant the horse, not Clinton.
I mean, in either way, I mean, that detail is irrelevant. As far as like, I mean, who cares what the fuck, as long as it's not like, who cares who Trump is fucking. Why is that news? Right? He could fuck Bubba, Rico, Tom, and Jerry. Like, who gives a fuck? But why is this guy right here? I hope that they feel very accomplished by uploading this video. I hope they feel like, oh, I got the views. Because there's nothing else coming for them. Right?
Ambulance says I care because the horse ain't deserve that.
He said the horse didn't deserve it. Hey, I can't knock you for that, Brody. I can't knock you. But a lot of these content creators just piss me off when I watch them, bro. They just piss me off because it's like, what did you accomplish other than just putting nonsense out and getting people to watch your nonsense? Like, what else did you accomplish? And they would be the same people that if the same tactics are used on their kids once they have kids. Because I'm convinced that this person does not have any children, right? If their children become victims of the same strategy that they're using right now, they would be the first ones to complain. But meanwhile, it doesn't affect them, right? If anything, it makes potential for them to make money, right? And that's all they really care about is the clicks and the money, right? They will sell their ass for money. Yes? Especially this one right here. Allegedly. Let's continue.
Now, right? So assuming that all of this is real, then it, like,
I mean, think about it. Homie took time for this to find this image that he has behind him. He might have even generated himself through AI. Took time to put in prompts. You know what I mean? What are we doing out here, guy?
Now at this point lines up, right? You know, this is, but I didn't take him as a, you know what? I'm not even gonna say it. Y'all.
Don't say anything. I'd rather you say nothing. I'll give you the clicks and the views if you just shut the fuck up right now.
He said something along the lines of, it wouldn't be far-fetched for him to have somebody win presidency and he be their vice president and then have them step down so he
just read again. He's reading.
Entertainment purposes only. Please do not.
And you are entertaining me, you clown. You are very entertaining.
Y'all, this is news.
Apparently, over 1,000 Starbucks employees across America are going on strike because they don't feel like the amount that they're getting paid is worth all of the stress that they're going through. Because of all the drama with the Starbucks boycotts and the employees literally having to learn how to fight for their lives, not to mention everything that's been happening with the teddy bear cups, employees have decided that they are not getting paid enough to deal with all of this crap. And the only thing
Armbjorn says I would sell my half money too, cause the homie is broke #Cinderella.
You better fucking stop it, Bjorn. You are worth far more than fucking money. Money is nothing. Do not sell your ass for Monopoly paper. Now, this to me is an important topic because it is affecting people, right? It's affecting people, it's affecting their food, right? It's expecting it's
affecting their... bro, I swear.
Sure. But it sounds to me like all of this is intentional, right? From a business perspective, understanding that most of these places are going with self-checkout and automated service and all of this non-human interaction, right? All of this could be intentional to get people to quit.
No. Look up the Anthony Mackie Cinderella clip.
They get people to quit intentionally so that they can say, hey, we fired them. We didn't fire them. We put these automated AI shits here because they left, right? Make it so that they don't want to be there anymore and they will step away themselves rather than you having to go publicly saying that you fired all of these people, right? From a business perspective, this might just be a tactic. Anthony Mackie Cinderella clip. Let me note this right here.
People are crashing the Taco Bell eye and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, man, it's all nonsense. They don't want all they want us to be as consumers, right? They would even give the universal basic income, right? Where everyone gets like $3,000 a month or some shit like that, because all they want us to be are consumer, right? They just want us to consume. They don't want us to learn. They don't want us to build.
Armbion
They don't
says,
want us to
Anthony Mackie
socialize.
interview Cinderella clip. You'll understand my reference.
I got you. All right. But I did make note of it. I will take a look at that. They don't want us to think, right? They don't want us to even work, really. And you're like, what do you mean they don't want us to work? They don't want us to work because if we work, then we die quicker. We get sick. But isn't that how they make money? Big pharma? The people are not trusting pharmaceuticals anymore. If you look at pharmaceutical sales, they are plummeting. People are not visiting hospitals anymore. People don't trust their doctors. They're at a point where they're not going to continue making the profits and the money and gain the control that they want with the current methods, right? So make us all slobs that don't have to work, that are maintained by the government, right? So that all that we have to concern ourselves with is what product we want to consume. Let me go check on my food. I'll be right back.
That there's not so much stress on them.
An auditor named Brian Ferentz went through all of TPUSA's tax documents and found that in just 2023, a large life insurance policy was taken out on Charlie Kirk. As you can see,
Armbion says, what you eating, my boy?
LLC paid for a split dollar life insurance policy for the president/CEO of Turning Point USA, aka Charlie Kirk. Annual premiums for this policy are massive, $350,000 per year, meaning that the benefit for someone who is 31 years old and a non-smoker would be between $20 and $50 million. All of this information is public because TPUSA is a registered 501c3 nonprofit, so you can go ahead and look up this information for yourself. GGLF 2023 LLC is also owned by Charlie Kirk, so why would he have one business paying one of his other businesses for his own life insurance policy? Because it's a common tax strategy for high net worth individuals that comes with massive write-offs and deductions, making sure that the beneficiary would not have to pay a massive estate tax of up to...
This lady, I've seen quite a few of her videos and I like her, right? She is very straightforward, right? She's not really trying to make you feel a certain way about what she's telling you. Although she
Armbion says
obviously
it was posted in Amazon, my mom, and I found it before it went viral, and his bodyguard was.
Armbion says checking his watch anxiously just before he died.
Well, yes, this lady, she's very straightforward. She does her opinions spill over while she's talking for sure. But I doubt very much that anyone would argue the things that she is saying anyhow, or how
Armbion says
she feels about what she's talking
other
about.
Dudes already.
Bro, it's wild. It's wild. I'm not even paying attention to that soap opera. It's obviously intentional, right? It's hate bait on a global media stage, right? That's all it is hate bait on a global stage. Fuck them people. Who gives a shit?
Armbion says FR.
She could go diddle whatever balls she wants. I don't give a shit.
40%, meaning on a $10 million fit policy, that could trigger a $4 million tax bill. Remember, in this case, the payout is supposed to be a lot bigger than that. The timing of taking out such a large policy so close to the date he was executed is interesting, considering this was far past the time that he had nationally broken out and become a huge public figure with TPUSA. It could, of course, be because he got married and had 2 children and wanted to make sure that they were protected in case anything happened. But that's making an assumption.
I mean, think about it. Why should anyone invest any emotions into what she's doing? Are you related to her? Are you related to Charlie? Do you have any stake in their relationship and in their marriage? So why are we feeling so hard about what this bitch is doing? People are cheating all the time, right? Husbands cheat on wives, wives cheat on husbands. People die and they remarry days later, right? Why are we investing as people any emotional, anything into what this lady is doing? Why do we care? Yet it's all up in our faces everywhere that we look. So obviously they intentionally want us to feel some way about this. But why should we care?
We know who received this money. even though this tax information is
Armbjorn says people use the clips as bait and switch on innocent people.
who the beneficiary is.
Joshi the Pooh says at Armbjorn Pink Heart you have just reached level
But if it was
22.
somebody else, that would be quite interesting. As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this.
Down below.
The same guy who was tasked with investigating the Las Vegas.
Please increase my analytics down below.
Armbjorn says I was level 19 when I joined LOL.
What level you at? 22? Damn. I've only been on for like, what, an hour? I mean, you are participating quite a bit in the chat. That's why. That's the fastest way to level up.
What happened that night in 2017? Steve Paddock.
What night?
Check out these newly released videos.
Armbjorn says I always do my boy S.
They're allowed to buy, and let's be honest, right? This guy is clearly using publicly available sources for his internet sleuthing.
You are usually very active in the chat, and I appreciate you for that,
Armbjorn
Bjorn.
says what was that ice slop?
I don't know. What's up, baby girl?
Built thinking he's found the ocean. An absolutely tremendous thank you to both.
You won't let Jelly get in between? Oh, they put a beret on him.
Honestly, guys, without your support, this channel just would not be what it is today. So honestly,
Armbjorn says he friend.
so much. And if you're interested in joining those absolute legends, you can find the link
Bjorn says hi.
below. When you
Bjorn.
click on it, you'll be taken to a page with all different links, and you'll find both the platforms which I'm talking about right now on there. Choose the one which appeals most to you. I recommend one over the other, but I can't actually tell you which one, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. They both come with their respective perks, I'll say that much. Now, there's no expectation, there's no obligation, just infinite gratitude if you do choose to do that. Now, if there's another way which you'd like to show support because that isn't an option,
Armbjorn says we're using my boy.
then all I'd ask is that you hit that like button. It really helps.
Making a chicken stew right now.
Vice President J.D. Vance says housing prices are
Probably gonna make like a black rice.
new home construction and illegal immigration. So in a
Black rice with beans.
Fox News host Sean
Shut up.
Hannity, Vance says
Armbjorn says I may have tacos.
people are saying housing is
Tacos sound good.
expensive because we flooded the country with 30 million illegal immigrants. He argued that undocumented immigrants are, quote, taking housing.
Another thing that I skip is when I hear arguments about Republicans this, Democrats that. All of that is nonsense. Just more tools used to divide the American people, right? The citizens of this country. Because left wing and right wing obviously is the same fucking bird, right? So the destination is the same. What differs between the two parties is the route that we take to that destination that they both have, right? There are two routes to the same destination. And we're all here arguing about right wing this, left wing that. Right wing is bad, left wing is bad. It's the same fucking bird, people.
Armbjorn says BRB dishes and cat feeding.
Yes, sir.
The number of legal immigrants in the U.S. hit 14 million in 2023. And this is the highest on record after 2 straight years of growth. Now, Vance also said that it was due to inheriting the Biden administration's inflation crisis. And he said, quote, under the Biden administration, the price of a new home literally doubled in 4 years. It went up.
We've received Skullmaster, thank you for the share, brother. Appreciate you.
Administration is trying to get a hold on it, saying, quote, under the Trump administration, housing and rent prices are up 1% to 2%.
The moment the person starts speaking and they give an opinion as to one party being better than the other, I immediately know that they're agents, right? Agents. At this point, most of us understand that there is no Republic, there is no Democrat. The interest is the same amongst the two of them. The only thing that differs is the tactic that is used to reach that goal. Yes?
In line with what you would like to see. And Vance is not the only one making the connection between illegal immigration and rising housing costs. Political podcast host Benny Johnson posted a chart before the interview aired, writing, what's the difference? Buyers in the 1980s were not competing against private equity.
Seriously, Bjorn, it's just another tool to get people divided. If you throw out a concept, right, that's controversial and you make it public, immediately people are going to eat that up and there's going to be mixed opinions, right? And depending on how much emotion people invest into these things, that may cause friction, right? And difference of opinion. And they're just tools used to separate us even further. It's like the whole black and white thing. How did black and white become a race? It's a fucking color. The race is human.
Says I can see you rolling lol.
Right? Human race. Since when did black become a race? When did we promote black from color to race? from Crayola color to fucking race. If you look back before the 90s, every time they spoke about race, it was always human race, not black race and white race. Not sure when that started. It was sometime in the 90s that they really started pushing that. But it was always been human race. Black and white are just fucking colors. We have more valuable associations and characteristics that we can use to identify ourselves.
My teacher got mad once at me
other than black and white
because I asked for a skin color pencil, and Armion says she wanted him in the white color instead of brown like I asked for.
That was racist, Bjorn. That was racist. Skin color. What you mean skin color? Whose skin? Whose skin color? Racist.
Million new immigrants, 30 million illegal immigrants, H-1B fraud, hedge funds, older generations hoarding multiple homes. I mean, just take a look at this chart right here. Now, Vance says that the Trump administration is focusing on making it easier to build homes, something he says the country desperately needs. Do you guys think illegal immigration has contributed to the rising cost of owning a home? Share your thoughts below in the comments.
Doors are opening up.
Arnbjorn says, girl, we all shades of tan and brown. We ain't white heart or...
No, humanity is brown, right? And we're all different shades of brown.
Skullmaster 6231 says, hi, how are you doing today, man?
From pale tan all the way up to fucking Adabisi, right? from light tan, off-white tan to fucking purple, right? Purple brown, right? It's I'm being racist as fuck myself right now. No, well, not racist, right? Because everything is racist nowadays, right? It's really prejudice, not racist, right? But we say everything is racist, even though we really mean prejudice. I'm doing well today, Skullmaster. I hope you are too. Appreciate you pulling up, and thank you for all that love. I see the shares and I see the likes, homie.
Skullmaster 6231 says, that is great to hear. I am doing great. Thanks for asking.
Yes, sir.
Okay!
Armion says my dad said every color brown is just shades of orange LMAO.
They're from the Amazon. That was Portuguese.
Skullmaster 6231 says you are awesome and a big W and a great person with a great personality.
They're riverside communities who have so many limitations where they live.
I figured it was Brazil.
Wow, this is absolutely insane. Donald Trump just made this Truth Social post.
This guy I can't stand. I just can't fucking stand this guy.
He's announcing that he is withdrawing his support for Marjorie.
Skullmaster 6231 says I'm always happy to come give you some support when I can, no matter how I can.
Okay!
Armbian says I loved it when indigenous people did hacker in parliament. I think it was there. And the whites got.
This is my old man right here.
Armbion says they're angry at them.
They need to primary her.
Meet Gym Monster.
He's 15 years old.
All-in-one smart home gym. Its compact, self-standing design fits anywhere.
He also used
QRKT Crazy Man says, what's up, brother?
What's going on, Peaches? Christian in the chat, y'all.
Okay!
She should not run. And he is withdrawing.
I'm sorry, I didn't pay attention to this at all.
Armion says, why does everything need to be smart, bro?
The moment I see this guy's face, I just...
Crazy Man says, how you doing, bro?
My eyes even go in different directions. I just stop listening.
6231 says,
I'm chilling, bro.
if you are
I hope
new,
you're doing well.
welcome in, and please drop a like, share, and follow.
Let him know, Skullmaster. Thank you, sir.
BBC was just forced to apologize to Trump for editing his speech.
This all started with the Panorama edit. I've just got this in. This is just breaking news, Emma, which relates to this story. We're just hearing that the BBC has apologised to Donald Trump over the editing of a speech which appeared on Panorama in 2024, adding it was an error.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. He's all excited. Like, yeah, like they apologized to him. Like, one for the team, bro. Yeah, they apologized. Yeah.
judgment.
What?
And the program will not be broadcast.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
In this form.
Error of judgment is one way of putting it. He should sue them for $1 billion anyway. CNN was just forced.
Skullmaster 6231 says, if you are new, welcome in and we hope you enjoy yourselves.
President Trump did not receive or send any of the messages, which largely predated his time as president. He's not been accused of any.
Look at this guy. He looks like he's a little too excited. Look at his face. Look at his face. It's like the face a child makes when he's surprised, when they're surprised with like a fucking chocolate cake or something. Look at his face. Is that the face of someone who's taking this news seriously? So why should you? Look at his face.
Doing in connection with Epstein or Maxwell.
You can see it in her face. She really doesn't want to have to say this.
When you start emailing your representatives or senators, you might get...
I like this lady. I don't know. I'm not clear yet on what her intentions are, but she provides very useful information.
Added to their email list and receive occasional updates. Something crazy happened when I was on my...
Armbjorn says, look for the clip where the indigenous people did Pukana in front of politicians. It's so beautiful.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
A conspiracy newsletter wherein...
I saw the haka too. That was great. That was great. And they apparently they had promised not to do it, but the moment that the visiting politician stepped into the room, they all started. It was. Ah, man, it was great. It was great.
A button-up shirt. It calls itself journalism, but it reads like someone fed Facebook rumors into a blender.
Armbjorn says it was so funny to see them get so angry about it.
Linked to a publication like
That was a hell of a troll, bro. Well done.
His constituents already see on social media, and hearing the same message from several different places creates the illusion of credibility. I wish I could show every person how to spot propaganda, conspiracy theories, looping logic.
I just want to say, whenever anything like that comes out, right? These people have no emotional investment in you whatsoever, right? I'm talking about like the Kirk situation. I'm talking about Trump, all these things. P. Diddy, right? All of these things, the fucking prince, I forget which prince it is, right? That just got exiled from the royal family, right? These are all obviously just distractions, right? But my main point here is there is no emotional investment in you. So why do you emotionally invest, or why would you emotionally invest in this news? Who does that make sense to? Cairo, what's good, bro? I think it was Charles, but not sure. Prince Charles, I think you're right. I think you're right. I don't follow any of that shit either, but I think you're right.
And circular reporting.
I mean, I'm not saying that what happened to Charlie is good, or that, you know, people would hurt, right? In addition to him, he had family, right? People would be hurt by this news. So I'm not trying to strip any emotional
Skullmaster 6231
value
says, okay, have a
from
great
it.
day and rest of your stream.
You too, Skullmaster. Thank you very much. But I see so many people who take
Cairo
things
says
like that
everything's staying
personally.
rest. I don't care for famous people unless they actually do something for.
Bro,
Cairo says other humans.
but so many people like emotionally invest in these things, and I don't get it. There is no emotional reciprocation going on here. So why are you allowing that type of information to influence your life?
Skullmaster 6231 says, I am going to go relax. I just got out of work.
Oh, relax, bro. Get your feet up. Forget about work for a few hours, man. Just rest. Do what makes you happy. You know what I mean, Skullmaster? And I appreciate very much you pulling up and showing that love for a moment in the chat. I don't care how short it is. Like you said, you help, my brother. It doesn't matter how little you help, and I appreciate you very much,
Armbjorn says,
Skullmaster.
play Money from Cabaret by Alan Cummings and it'll tell you the state of the world despite its age.
Pooh, we've received a gas
Hold on.
donation.
Just going to make note of
Chat,
that here.
Show some love.
Thank you, Bjorn.
A tiny bit of truth and uses it to create something new and highly misleading. If someone tries to fact check it, they'll find pieces of it out there, which tricks them into accepting the rest as truth. Conspiracy theories take real puzzle pieces that have no relationship with each other and connect them with dramatic questions like, isn't it interesting that on the same day? Or do you think that that's a
Yes, ma'am.
coincidence? And
Yes,
if you
ma'am.
ask them for actual clarification, they respond with,
I'm telling you, I like this lady. I'm still unclear as to what her intentions are, but she provides like
And that's the million-dollar question.
gold
They
information.
accept the abyss of the unknown, and their distrust of what they can actually see gets deeper. Circular reporting is when a publication makes a claim and cites itself, and then acts like repeating the same nonsense somehow turns it into evidence.
Right.
Looping logic is when someone's argument chases its own tail so hard that everyone else gets dizzy and gives up. And what is the reader left with? Questions, uncertainty, and the ability to repeat a few key phrases because the circular reporting.
Perfect conditions for propaganda or having people unknowingly propagate certain narrative.
And looping logic.
Cairo, thank you so much for the share, brother.
As they spiral down the rabbit hole. Recently, I got an email from my senator, not the representative who subscribed me to the conspiracy outlet, but a senator who should know better. His email said, "I'm pleased to share that the painful and unnecessary government shutdown has come to an end. After holding the American people hostage for weeks, my colleagues from across the aisle finally came to their senses and voted for a clean, nonpartisan CR, a bill I voted for 15 times. But we all know that bill wasn't clean. And it's infuriating to think he either didn't read it or believed his constituents wouldn't. So I wrote him back. You voted for it 15 times, but did you read it this time? Because we did, and if you think we're not paying attention, think again. Some of us don't vote by party, we vote by pattern. The point is this, our government doesn't think that we're paying attention. Some of them may not even know what their job description is. I had a conversation with one of my state-level representatives and asked her a simple question. If 400 people were standing on the Capitol lawn and one articulate person was in her office explaining what her constituents wanted, would it change her vote? And she said no, not if it was something she already felt strongly about. And then she said that if 0 people were on the lawn and one articulate person was in her office explaining something she didn't know, it would sway her. And I'm still wrestling with that. These people are hired by us, paid by us.
Albion says my Wi-Fi is fighting for its life.
Push through to be heard, which means we cannot get tired. We have to stay intelligently informed. We have to have productive conversations. Because when we vote our way out of this moment, whoever comes next needs to know one thing. The people are watching. And if they forget who they work for, we'll be right there to remind them.
Well, people that participate in government, right? In U.S. government, vote. All voting relating things, right? This is very important information, right? And I would suggest personally to follow this lady. I'm not saying that everything she says is golden, but there's a lot of key information that she provides that is very useful.
We're watching, we're learning, and we're not going anywhere.
15-year-olds are children. They can't drive, they can't see R-rated movies, but disgusting 50-year-old...
25-year-olds are children. There are 50, 60, 70-year-old children out there in this world. All right? Adulthood is not just about age. It's about your mental, right? How you perceive and process things, right? You can be 50, 60, 70-year-old and still be a child.
Men should be allowed to R-word them.
Albion says BRB, cat feeding a muffin. If you're phoning it back, then answer by now. Joshy the Pooh says at Albion Pink Heart you have just reached level 23.
Somebody very close to this case, Jeffrey Epstein. In this
Albion says again.
He was into the barely legal type. Like, he liked 15-year-old girls. He wasn't into, like, 8-year-olds. There's a difference between... Yeah, Nah. Like, yeah, but...
This is obviously hate bait also, right? That tweet. We're seeing a lot of hate bait coming from the government, right? We're seeing a lot of these... I mean, this is coming from Republican Accountability, GOP. I mean, it has the swish, right? So it's obviously a verified political office, right? That started this, right? Because if anyone has ever gone through a verification process, if you're going to be verified to post things like this, you must show that verification that you are of a public office, right? So this here obviously came from a public office. Right? Why would public offices release hate bait like this? What would be the intention behind it?
it's not that, like, dude, I'm speechless. I'm actually speechless. So is 30 million people, and it's only got 16,000 likes. That is actually terrible. Left is having conversations about expanding food and healthcare coverage amid a recession. The right is literally talking about how they low can draw the line for exactly. Like the right's trying to figure out, like, dude, is our leader? What do y'all think? This is not funny, by the way, but just let me know your opinion.
Okay, that is not good, and I think that is where I draw the line on politics today. Things are, they are ramping up in terms of the controversy and the drama, at least. And forgive me for saying this, but it seems a little too, we'll just say scripted for my taste. Those of you who are on the same page as me will know exactly what I'm talking about here. But with that said, I'm calling it a day on the politics, okay?
Why would I not recommend potatoes for food storage? First off, let's make something clear. I freaking love potatoes.
I love
First off,
potatoes.
they're dirt cheap, and you can live an extremely healthy life with a diet-based...
Oh, and they're so versatile. You can prepare them in so many ways.
Not in this form. However, these are delicious. If they were just recently discovered, they'd be the new superfood. Guess what? They are a superfood. That's why every single continent devours them. However, potatoes don't store the best. And before you yell at me, yes, I know potatoes store just fine. We're talking about food storage. Your food storage needs to be able to be put away and forgotten about for years. Why? Because you're not going to stay on top of it. You're not going to rotate through it. Things are going to go bad. That's why your food storage needs to be something that doesn't go bad, like, for instance, dried grain.
Grain, yes.
However, you can get instant mashed potatoes, the potato flakes. Those store fairly well, but they have to be the unflavored kinds, otherwise they will go stale fast. And the dried potato will not have anywhere close to the same amount of nutrients that a fresh...
You could dry foods yourself and create flakes and just restore them with water, right? This is something that we can do at home.
Just a reminder that the coconut crab is the most dangerous crab on Earth. And it's not because they get up to over 3 feet in length, which is the size of a dog. It's because they have the grip strength of a demigod. They get their name because they're famous for cracking open coconuts with their grip. But actually, how strong is it?
Wouldn't want to get caught by one of those, right?
Well, they've been able to exert up to 3,300 newtons of force. To put that into perspective, that's the strongest grip strength of any animal on Earth. But not only that, that grip strength is stronger than the bite force of every land animal on Earth besides an alligator or a crocodile. Have fun on the beach, guys.
So the good news is that we all survived global warming. You know, that's the good. So nice job, everyone. I think we all deserve a round of applause.
We survived global warming, y'all. We survived it. Congratulations.
Applause for that. Global warming has been defeated. The Earth boiled.
Owl_Dreamer says hello, good sir.
Hey, Owl.
Drowned us all.
Just watching these clowns.
Evaporated, just as was predicted, and we survived it. In fact, we survived it so well that we didn't even notice it happening. That's how resilient we are. That's how strong and resilient we are as a species. You know, there's been a lot of black pilling recently, but if you want a white pill, here it is. The Earth was destroyed.
Owl_Dreamer says we survived it.
Oh my goodness. Give this man no energy. I want to rewind it one more time.
Dreamer says I could have thought we were still dealing with it.
We're done with the black pill. Now, if you want something on the lighter side, here's the white pill. He said something along those lines. This guy. And he was so smooth about it, how he just sprinkled that prejudice in there. It was just that meme. He just fucking...
Not because they get up to over 3 feet in length, which is the size of a dog.
Hold on, we saw this already. Yes. Adorable crab.
So the good news is that we all survived global warming. You know, that's the good. So nice job, everyone. I think we all deserve a round of applause for that. Global warming has been defeated. The Earth boiled. The seas rose. Drowned us all. Evaporated. Just as was predicted, and we survived it. In fact, we survived it so well that we didn't even notice it happening. That's how resilient we are. That's how strong and resilient we are as a species. You know, there's been a lot of black pilling recently.
Been a lot of black pilling recently.
But if you want a white pill, here it is.
Bruh.
Owl_Dreamer says what?
Just the use of the colors black and white, right? Some people were assigned the color black, so they're black people. Some people were assigned the white, they're white people. Something negative is black.
Al_Dreamer says, what
Something
TF are you
positive
watching?
is white. Right? I don't believe in this whole white race and black race. I'll say it again. Those are not races. Those are fucking Crayola colors.
Dreamer says some
right?
people didn't get to choose.
Race is human. We are human race. There's no black race. There's no white race. There's a black Crayola crayon. There's a white crayon. There's white paint. There's black paint. Right? But there is no white race and black race. That is the stupidest thing we adopted. It was pushed really hard in the 90s. And now we all say it as if it's fucking fact. White race and black. Like, how stupid are we really to be identifying as a color? So many valuable characteristics and associations that we can make. And we decided to identify as a fucking color. Not me, ladies and gentlemen.
The Earth was destroyed, and we are so resilient, we didn't even know it happened. That's the power of positive thinking.
Oh yeah, very positive, very white.
Al_Dreamer says we all bleed red.
Is the best hunter on planet Earth.
Look at this adorable bug.
95% hunting success rate. That is higher than any other.
The little big ass eyes.
Even a lion only has a 20% hunting success rate. But how they do it is the crazy part. When they first find their prey, they don't try to attack it right away. Instead, they sit back and study all of its movements, and they can memorize all of a creature's
They look like
in just seconds.
mantis eyes, yeah?
Everything their prey is gonna do, they can go and intercept that creature in mid-flight with precise accuracy.
Got him!
Dragonflies are built different. Y'all gotta start putting some respect on Timon's name. Meerkats are only found in the deserts of Africa, which is a really hard place to find food. So they've developed a diet of mainly insects, which we all know that. But they also eat lizards and snakes and their personal favorite, which is scorpions. And that includes the Deathstalker scorpion, which is the most venomous scorpion on Earth and can send them to meerkat heaven. But for them, they are literally trained professionals. At a young age, Mama Meerkat will bring baby meerkat scorpions to inspect the body. After that, she'll bring them living scorpions with the tail detached to learn how they move. And after that, she'll bring them living scorpions with the tail attached but injured so they can learn how to deal with the tail. And only after Mama Meerkat thinks that the baby is ready to handle her own scorpions are they allowed to go and hunt scorpions. That is the coolest thing I've ever heard.
That is pretty cool.
Then I thought I'd end today on a light
That's pretty cool.
After a pretty heavy few days of watching the world somehow descend even further into chaos. So with that being said, thank you all so much for making it this far. I appreciate you more than you know. I hope you'll join.
Well, guys, that will wrap up the stream, this stream. So I decided to do a reaction stream instead, being that I'm cooking, right? Rather than pausing in between games and running to the kitchen. I figured it'd be easier for me to just like get up real quick and then sit down and continue videos. Thank you all for watching. All of you guys that participated and watched. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. We will be back to gaming tomorrow. Tomorrow is what? Wednesday? I'm not sure what I'm going to play tomorrow, to be honest with you. I am taking another break from Warzone. Black Ops 7 kind of brought attention to the game that I'm really not appreciating at the moment. I might go back to Farlight. I might even try my hand at Apex. It's been a while since I've played Apex Legends. I did play Fortnite today. I've been playing Fortnite this whole week so far. I don't know whether or not I want to play Fortnite tomorrow. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Love you guys. Thank you so much for all the support. Thank you for accompanying me during the stream. And I hope to catch you guys tomorrow, yeah? Have a great night. For those of you gaming, you already know. Get them dubs and bring them crowns home, yeah? Love y'all. Have a great night. Thank you so much for the gifts, guys. Thank you for the supporting the stream. I appreciate that very much. Again, have a blessed night, y'all. Deuces.
How you spell cracked? What?